Beautiful people, hello great minds. You all are welcome to another part of our training session. For our today's training session, I'll be showing you guys how to create social media flyers, social media flyer, and the social media flyer for today, which we'll be creating, is particularly focused on coffee. So we'll be creating a coffee social media flyer. So without wasting much of your time, let's dive into our tutorial for today. So for our tutorial for today, we'll dive into our software which we'll be using to do these flyers. So the software which we'll be using is Adobe Photoshop, and it might depend on what version you guys have. Whatever version you guys have, you still need to use the software to I'll show you guys how to use them to create these social media flyers. And when you open your Adobe Photoshop, be it Adobe Photoshop CS6 2020, CC 2024, 2020, 2019, this is how it will appear. Some might show you the recent activities, the recent flyers that you've done on your screen, but some might not show it depending on the version. So for us to begin this project, first thing, like I told you guys in the lecture room, before you doing your design, make sure you write down the information. Make sure you write down the information as you can see on your screen. Make sure you write down the information, and then you sketch it down. You sketch your ideas down. So as you can see from what I showed you, I've written down the information which we'll be using to create this social media flyer. So first thing which we are going to do is we have to create our canvas. We have to create our canvas. I will explain that to you as we get along this tutorial. So to create our canvas, you simply click on the short key Ctrl plus the N key, or you can as well go to your menu bar. This is your menu bar. You can as well go to your menu bar, and then you click on files, and then you click on new. Okay, so rather than you moving your mouse, delaying your time, you simply just click on Ctrl N key to create a new canvas. And once you click on the Ctrl N key, this windows will pop up on your screen. Now this is where we do the setup for our canvas. This is where we do the set where we want to do your designs, depending on the dimension. This is where you do the setup. Okay, this is where you do the settings. So for our social media flyer, which we'll be doing for today, the dimension will be first we need to change the unit. For this case, we need to change the unit to pixels. Okay, we need to change the unit to pixels, but there are some designs, like printout designs, when we want to do them, we want to do print out designs, we need to put the unit in centimeters for us to get the accurate dimension for print. Okay, so for social media flyer, we'll put the unit to pixels, and I will show you guys how to change this back when we are doing our designs. If you want to change the unit back to centimeters, I'll show you guys how to do that. So once we change the unit to pixel, we set up our width to be 736, and then our height to be 736 too. And then for our resolution, now the resolution gives you the quality of your flyer. The resolution gives you the quality of your flyer. So the higher the resolution, the higher the quality of your flyers. So it's advisable to use for your resolution, it's advisable to be from 72 to 300 resolution. Okay, so we set up our resolution to be in centimeters, the unit. And then for our color mode, sorry, the resolution has to be 72. For our color mode, we set up our color mode to be RGB colors. Okay, and then we forget about all the other settings. Now once you're done with these settings, once you're done setting up your canvas size, you simply click on create, the create button. Okay, now this is our Photoshop. let me put this here. Let me put this here. So this is what this white area on our screen, this white area on our board is called the canvas. This is where you'll be doing your design. This is where you'll be doing the magic. Okay, so this is our canvas, and then this section up here is our menu bar. This section up here is our menu bar, and the section directly below the menu bar we call it the option bar. When we click on any of these tools here, when you click on any of these tools here, you see this, the option bar will change depending on the tool which you've selected to use. You see the different options which you can use to play around the tool. Okay, so this is our option bar, and then this is our project files section. This is a project file section, and then this one is our toolbar. This is our toolbar. This is our toolbar, and then the dark part around our canvas, the section where our canvas is located, is called our workspace. Okay, this is our workspace, while this white section is our canvas where we do the design. And now this way, this is our color palette. This is our color palette. This is where we have our colors, we set up our colors. And then this is the adjustment layer. This is the adjustment layer. So let's shift this adjustment layer a little bit upward. Okay, so this is our adjustment layer, and then this is our layer panel. Okay, so whatever element that you input, you bring into our canvas, it will create a layer in our layer panel. Okay, so this is our layer panel. Don't worry guys, as we get along this tutorial, you get to understand how all these areas function and how they work. Okay, so what we are going to do now is first thing, let's increase our canvas size for us to get a clear vision of what we are doing on our canvas. Okay, increasing our canvas size is not like we are increasing the actual dimension. Okay, it's not like we are increasing the dimension. It's like we are zooming in and out of our canvas. So to zoom in into our canvas, you simply click on the Ctrl+ key. Okay, as you can see, we zoom in into our canvas, and then we zoom out is the Ctrl plus the minus key. Okay, now for us to make our canvas size to fit on our workspace, for us to make it to fit on our workspace, you simply go to view, and then you click on fill on screen. Okay, as you can see, our canvas now has been filled on the screen, the workspace. Okay, now what we are going to do now is we are going to bring in our coffee, because we are producing a coffee social media flyer. So we are going to bring in our coffee. For this coffee, we will need to use the coffee color to create our background. That's why we need to bring in the coffee first. Okay, the coffee image first. So we'll go to our storage. Let's look for the coffee image. Okay, here it is. So we'll drag our coffee image and drop into our canvas. Okay, it sometimes takes time for it to upload. Okay, now we have our coffee image. You double tap into the transformation to deactivate the transformation. Okay, what we are going to do now is we have to remove as you can see, our coffee image has a background. Okay, so there are several ways in which we can remove the background of this our coffee image. First, let me show you guys that it truly has a background. So we'll disable this actual background from our canvas. Disable it. As you can see, we have a background on our coffee image. So how do we remove this background? We have several methods in Photoshop, several ways in which we can remove colors from a background, depending on how complex the image is, and how complex the image is. So let me show you guys a quick method on how to remove it, how to remove the background. The first quick method in which you can remove the background from our images. So what you are going to do is use this is as you can see, I made mention of the layer panel. make sure mention on the layer panel. So whatever image you bring in, it creates a layer of that image. Okay, it creates a layer of that image. So as you can see, this is a layer of our image. So what we are going to do now is you simply right click on that layer of the image, you rasterize the layer, and then you go to our eraser tool. This is our eraser tool. You right click on our eraser tool, and then we take the magic eraser tool. Okay, once you click on the magic eraser tool, you click on any section of the white background. Okay, you click on it and it quickly removes the white section. But now this method affects our object, because part of this object has a similar color to our background, which is a plain white. So it has so when we click on the background, it has to remove every section which is of the same color with our background, so it had to affect it. So sometimes this method is very easy and quick, sometimes it's not helpful. So what we have to do is we undo this setup. So how to undo? You click on Ctrl plus the Z key to undo. Okay, let me show you guys another method in which you can remove backgrounds from our image. For Adobe Photoshop 2020 and above, sometimes 2019, it has an already built-in AI tool where it automatically selects image and separates them from their backgrounds. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we click on we go to our menu bar, you click on select, and you click on select subject. Okay, the AI tool will quickly help to select our object. As you can see, it's selecting the object. The progress is ongoing, so wait for some time for it to select our object. So let's wait for some time. Let's give it some short time to remove it. Okay, as you can see, it has selected our object from the background. But now this AI tool didn't select everything we need for our coffee product. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we click on the quick selection tool, which this is it. We click on the quick selection tool, and then we click on our option bar. I may mention, when you click on any tool, it has different options to display on the option bar depending on what tool you selected. So once we click on the quick selection tool, we'll select the add to selection. Okay, we click on it, and then now we reduce our selection icon, our selection tool. So to reduce the size, we click on the curly bracket left. To increase the size of it, we click on curly bracket right. Okay, so we have to reduce the size of it, so we click on curly bracket right, and then we select this part of the coffee. We select this other one. We need it, and okay, I think we have selected all what we need. Okay, now let's zoom in into our canvas. Let me quickly show you guys something. Let's zoom in. As you can see from our selection, we don't want this white section because it's part of the background. Okay, it's part of the background. So how do we remove this? How do we deselect this out of our selection? You simply go to our minus selection tool. Okay, you click on it, and then you reduce your brush size for it to fit on that layer, and then you select. Okay, you select like that. Okay, now we've selected that part out of our selection. Let's zoom out again. Zoom out. Let's go to view, fit on screen. Okay, now since we've already rasterized it, what do we do next? We have to there are two ways in which we have to do this. Okay, it's either we have to cut the background from our actual object, or we have to create a layer mask of this our selection. Okay, so to cut, once you rasterize the layer of the image, you simply right click on it, and then you see layer via cut, and then it cuts out our selected area from the background. But sometimes this doesn't come out well, this doesn't come out perfect. So before we separate our object from the background, we will have to go to filter to do some to selection to do some settings for our image to come out perfectly well. So we click on select, and then we go to modify, and we smooth. Okay, so we'll smooth our selection to, let's say, 5. We smooth our selection so that when we separate it from the background, the edges of our selected area will not be that sharp. Okay, it will be smooth and perfect. So we'll smooth it to 5, and then we click on OK. Now I made mention of adding a layer mask of our selected area, so we will come to add layer mask, which is this on our below our layer panel. Click on it, and then boom, we've removed the background of our image. Now once we remove the background of our image, you'll see on our layer, on the layer of our image, we have some extra layer which has been created, and this layer was created immediately we clicked on add layer mask. So it add a layer mask of the selected area of our object. Okay, so what we have to do now is we have to convert this image to a smart object. The reason is because we don't want to get the background again. We don't want to get the background again, and then we want to convert this image now from a raster image to a vector image. Okay, so we simply right click on the layer, and then we click on convert to smart object, and boom, we have our image now with no background. As you can see, we don't have any background on it. So we go now to our layer panel, and we enable the actual background from our canvas. We enable it. I disable it just to show you guys that this image had a background and how we can actually go about it to remove the background. So we enable it, we enable the actual background from our canvas. Now the next thing which we are going to do is we have to create our background now for our design. Okay, we have to create our background for our design, and the color which we'll be using for our background is this coffee brown color. Okay, we'll be using this coffee brown color and a mixture of a lighter coffee brown color. So what we are going to do now is we are going to add a layer, an extra layer into our canvas. So how do we do that? You simply come here and you click on add layer. You add a new layer. As you can see, we've added a new layer. Now this layer comes with a transparent background. It comes with a transparent background, so whatever thing we are going to do, it will be added to this layer. Okay, whatever thing we are going to do now will be added to this layer. And what we want to do now, we want to create a background for our design. So the background will be added to the layer. So what we are going to do now is we come to, okay, we make sure our foreground color, is black, is coffee brown. So click here, and then we select, we take our color picker tool. This is our color picker tool. As you can see, we select the color, the coffee brown color from the coffee. We take the darker part of it. Okay, that's it, and then we click on OK. Okay, now next thing which we are going to do is we'll right click here, we'll right click on this gradient tool. This is the gradient tool. As you can see, we right click there to have other options of our color drop tools. So what we are going to select is we are going to take a paint bucket tool. Okay, we are going to take a paint bucket tool, and then we'll click on the paint bucket tool. Once we click on the paint bucket tool, we are just going to click on any area into our canvas. We are clicking on any area into our canvas. Now before you click it, make sure the layer, the new layer which we added into our tool panel is selected. Sorry, make sure it's selected. Okay, before you can click on anywhere around your canvas. So what we are going to do now, is we simply just click on it, and boom, we have our color. which we selected here from our foreground color. This is our coffee brown color, and this coffee brown color has been added to our new layer. As you can see, the color now has been changed. At first we had a transparent background, now it has a coffee brown background. So what we are going to do is we are going to simply overlay this layer below the layer of our coffee image. So double tap on it, you drag the layer. Now when you drag on it, you see when you are directly below it, below the layer of our coffee, you see a blue line below the layer of our coffee. Once you see that blue line, you can now drop it there, you can now release, and boom, we have it. Now the next thing which we are going to do is we have to edit this our background. We have to edit this our background to make sure to give it some texture, to give it some actual real, how do I put it, some extra texture here. So what we are going to do is click on the layer of our background. Let's name this layer, let's name it as background. So you double tap on it, and then you write background, background layer 1. Okay, and then we click on enter key. Now we've named that layer to background layer 1, so we know that this is our actual background that we are using for our canvas. So we can as well disable this one. Okay, we can as well disable it, we don't need it anymore. Okay, now we are still on the background. Okay, we want to add some extra texture to this background, so make sure the layer of it is selected, and then you come now to filter, and then you take filter gallery. Click on filter gallery. Now on the filter gallery, let me show you guys something. On the filter gallery, these are some presets where we are used in some other designs I was creating, so I'll simply just delete them. I'll delete this one, I'll delete this one too, I'll delete it. Oh, that one can't be deleted until I add another one. Okay, so still on the we want to add some texture to this our preset, sorry, to this our background. So we click on artistic. Once you click on artistic, you take film grain. Okay, you take on film grain, and then you increase the film grain color to be like 8, and then you reduce the highlight area, and then you reduce the intensity too. Okay, once you've done that, you click on add. Now we want to add some other texture to this other layer. Okay, so we disable this artistic, and then we take now the brush stroke. Okay, now on the brush stroke, we'll take on spatter. Take on spatter, we'll increase the spray radius. Increase the spray radius. Okay, we increase the spray radius, and then we increase the smoothness of it. Let's go back to our film grain. Let's reduce the grain. Reduce the grain again a little. I think it's perfect that way. Let's increase the highlights. Okay, once we are done with all these settings, we click on OK. Now as you can see, we've added some extra texture to our background. Now the next thing which we are going to do is first we have to reduce the size of our coffee image. So we need to activate transformation first, and to activate transformation is Ctrl plus T key. Okay, and then now since we are using Adobe Photoshop 2020, you click on Alt key, and then you click on any of the angle points, and then you drag to reduce the size. The reason why we are holding on the Alt key is because we want to reduce all the angles equally. Okay, for Adobe Photoshop CC or CS6, rather than instead of clicking the Alt key, you will be clicking on the Shift key. Okay, so those of you who are using Adobe CS6 or CC, you'll be clicking on the Shift key. Okay, so I'll double tap to deactivate now this transformation. I'll double tap into the transformation, or I'll click on this check mark. So I'll just simply double tap on it, and our transformation tool has been deselected. Okay, now what we are going to do now is we need to add some extra texture, like to have some gradient, and you guys know. So we'll now come to our rectangular tool, and then we'll take on ellipse tool. Now we'll need to draw a circle. We need to draw a circle shape, and for us to get a perfect circle, we can as well use our free hand. Those of us which we are good in drawing with our free hand using our mouse, we can use our free hand to draw. But if you want to get a perfect circle, you simply click and hold on your shift key, and then you double tap and you drag. You have a perfect circle of equal height and width. Okay, as you can see on our screen, we have equal height of 273 pixels and 277 pixels of both height and width. So we'll increase the circle size a little, we increase it, and there we go. Okay, now for our color, for our coffee brown, instead of using this dark coffee brown color, we simply just double tap into it, and then we reduce the colors a little, we reduce it again. Okay, now for us to actually have that gradient, first we need to put a circle around this area, and then we go to filter, we go to blur, and then we take Gaussian blur. Okay, oh sorry, before we do that, we need to raster this image. We need to convert this image from this vector image, or we need to convert the shape from a vector shape to a raster shape. Okay, so we need to right click on it, then click on raster layer. Then now we go to the filter, we go to blur, and then we go to Gaussian blur. So we increase the blur radius. Now we've increased the blur radius. We can't really see the effect. The reason is because the color of our circle is actually the same with the color of our background. So we need to cancel it, and then we undo by clicking on Ctrl Z key. Then we double tap back into it, and then we take a lighter. I think this color will be perfect, or let's say, yeah, I think this one will be perfect. Yeah, okay, we'll go with this. So we click on OK, and then we rasterize the image again, the shape again, rasterize layer, we go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then we increase the blur radius to like this. I'm still not getting that color which I want. I'll cancel it again and I'll undo. I need a lighter color, a more lighter color. Wait, I think this will be, okay. Okay, so we rasterize it, rasterize layer, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then we increase the blur radius to like this, increase it again. Perfect, I'm getting now the effect I wanted. Okay, increase it, reduce it again, reduce the blur radius. Make sure when you're increasing or reducing the blur radius, make sure your preview check mark is checked. Okay, for you to actually see the effect of it on your design or on your layer. So I will reduce it again. Sorry, yeah, I'll go with that, and then I'll click on OK. Now I'll overlay the layer. I'll bring the layer of our shape of our image, sorry, I'll bring the layer above it to overlay it, so that it comes above the layer of that our blur radius. Okay, now the next thing which we are going to do is, as you can see the difference, this our blur shape is not actually blending with this our actual background, so we need to make it to be blend. Okay, so we need to blend it. So you click on the layer of that our ellipse tool, and then you go to the blend mode. You simply look for the blend mode that will match to our, I think this is not screen, we do, but screen doesn't really bring it out. Let's look for overlay. Overlay is not good. Soft light, hard lights. I really want to blend it for us to get that that actual texture. Okay, for us to get that actual texture. So I think from what I can get, will color dodge will do, or we'll go with color dodge art. Yes, color dodge art is perfect. So we'll click on color dodge art. Sorry. Now what we are going to do now is we are going to write now the information for our of our flyer. So what we are going to do is we have to go to your text tool, and then on our text tool you need to select the fonts, the font type. So for the font type, for this font, I will select for the first information which I'm going to write using a script font. I'm going to use a script font, something, yeah, I'm going to use a script font to write the first information, while for the second information I'm going to use Arial. Okay, now like from what I told you guys in our lecture room, always make sure, for you to get a perfect design, always make sure you don't use more than two font size, more than two fonts into your design. Okay, you don't use more than two fonts into your design. So maximum should be 3, and in case of using a third font is to differentiate hierarchy. Okay, so the third font should just be to be used to differentiate hierarchy, and it should be used just once. Okay, so before we write anything, we will have to change the color for our information we'll be writing. So I will use a lighter yellow. Click on OK, and then I'll click now on any area on our screen, and then I'll write now the information. So it will be O, and then we have glamour. The O has to be in caps, so O, glamour. Now I'm not satisfied with this font, so I'm going to use a different font. I'm going to look for a different script font. So let's see, I think this one will do. Yeah, that one will do. So what we are going to do is we simply click on our move tool, and then we'll activate and transformation, Ctrl T, and then we increase the size a little like that. Okay, we take it slightly to the center of our design, and then we double tap into the transformation to activate it. Then we will take our coffee image, increase the size of it, Ctrl T, and then we hold our Alt key, increase the size of it a little, take it slightly to our right. Okay, now the next thing which we are going to do is we're going to input the next information. So we simply click on the text, the first text which we inputted, which we input into our design, and then we duplicate this text, and then we type now a new text to the duplicate. Okay, so how do we duplicate images or text or any icon we have on our canvas? We simply click on make sure the layer of that of the image or the text which you want to duplicate is selected, which is this. As you can see, O glamour, the layer is selected. So we simply click on Ctrl J key, and then we use our move tool to bring down the duplicate, and then we double tap into it. If you are using Adobe Photoshop 2020, this option is enabled on your Photoshop, but if you're using CC, you need to go to the text tool before you write. You click on it and you write and all that. So but if you're using from 2019 to 2024 or 2025, you will need to double tap on it to the text to activate the text tool, and then you can write whatever information you want to write on it. So what we are going to write now is cafe. The E has an apostrophe, I think, yeah, there's an apostrophe, and then we click on the text tool. We click now on the text tool. Let's change the font. We'll be using Arial font, and for our Arial font, we'll take the font type to be bold, and then we increase the size of it. So Ctrl T, and then we hold our Alt key, increase the size, put it this way, increase the size again, put it, I think it's actually big. So now we'll click and hold our shift key, and then we'll click on this angle to actually bring down the image, like to shift the text like this. And then we click on the double tap into the transformation to bring down our image, our coffee image like this. As you can see, our design is gradually coming out. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to write now the next thing. So I'll simply duplicate this layer, the layer of the old glamour, Ctrl J, bring down the duplicate, and then I double tap into it, and then I'll write the next information, which is spatial. Okay, type spatial, and then I'll reduce the size of it, Ctrl T, to activate transformation, click on Alt and reduce the size. I'll put the spatial like this. Perfect. Okay, sorry, put the spatial there. We have a perfect design. As you can see, our flyer is gradually coming out. Now the next thing which we are going to do is we are going to write now the next information which we need to input into our design. So duplicate this spatial, Ctrl J, bring down the duplicate. We need to put it at the center of it. We double tap. Now we change our alignment to center alignment, and then we click on the check mark. Now double tap on it again. We change the color. For our color, we will not use yellow again. We use dark white or something close to gray, not plain white. Okay, we click on OK, and then now we type the information. So what we are going to type is this cafe, this coffee is a beverage brewed from roasted coffee. Let's click on the check mark first, and then we reduce the size so we see what all the information which we are inputting into our workspace. Okay, so we reduce the size, click on our Alt, reduce the size, reduce it again, bring it to the center, reduce the size again. Yes, it has to be smaller. Okay, it has to be smaller. Position it at the center. Once you see this orange this pink line crossing which goes across our flyer, it means our object is placed at the center of our design. So we'll double tap into the transformation to deactivate it, and then we'll double tap again, click here. So we'll continue writing, click on the enter key to move to the next line. Coffee beans, okay, sorry, NS beans, full stop. And then we continue by writing darkly, I think it's in cap, yeah, darkly colored. What do we have here? Okay, bitter and slightly acidic. slightly acidic coffee. Okay, coffee, full stop. Okay, slightly acidic, sorry, slightly acidic, and then before the coffee you have a full stop. And then now coffee has a simultaneous now from this simultaneous, before this simultaneous, we'll click on the backspace and then we'll enter to move the simultaneous to the next line, and then we'll use our arrow keys to move our cursor to the next word, to type in the next word. So simultaneous effects on humans, comma, primarily due to what do we have here? Okay, due to its caffeine is a substance found in coffee products which are refined. Caffeine contents, and this caffeine is actually harmful to our health. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why coffee is not really good for humans to actually take it. You can actually take coffee, but don't make it a habit. Like, don't make it addicted into your system. Okay, so you take coffee but not addicted. The reason is because for us to prevent kidney issues, future kidney issues, or as you all know. Okay, so to prevent that, simply limit your intake of coffee. Okay, so we have a coffee content, comma, it has the highest sales in the world's market for hot drinks, full stop. So from where we have markets, or let's say from where we have words, backspace, move it to the next line, and we click on the check mark. Now we simply go to our character. If you don't have these options here, to enable it, you go to your Windows, and then you make sure you select for you to have this character image. Make sure you select paragraphs. Where is it? Make sure you select paragraph or characters. Okay, so I will select paragraph for me to add a paragraph layer to it. So this is a paragraph, but now we are using this. Okay, so once you activate the paragraph, this one will be added. Okay, so you click on the character, and then what we want to do is we want to increase, as you can see from our text, from our information which we input here, the line spacing is very close. That is, each line is close to the next line. Okay, so we want to increase the line spacing, so we'll simply double tap here, and then we'll input let's say 11, and then we'll click on enter key. As you can see, we've increased the line spacing. So the line now is too much, so we'll reduce it to like let's say 8. Enter. Sorry, I input 81. So we'll click on it, and write 8, and type 8 and enter. What am I doing? Let's undo. Ctrl Z. Okay, so click on the character again. Instead of 11, we input 8, and then we'll click on enter. Okay, perfect. Now we have to reduce the boldness of these fonts, because this is actually not like the main image, the main content of it, though it passes out the information of it, but it's not like the main It does not have to have any hierarchy on it. So we will double tap on it, and then we go to our font layer. We'll take area, and the font, the size which we'll be using is the font type is area, and then the font layer will be regular. The font format, sorry, will be regular instead of bold or okay. So it will be regular, or we can as well take italics. Yeah, italics is better. And we'll click on OK. Now we'll increase the size a little. Increase the size a little. Now we'll take, I'll have to move this line back. Give it a space. We'll take this color to the next line. Bring this one back. Give it a space. Bring this one back. Take it to the next line. Take this one. Give it a space. And then I'll take it from highest. Then I'll take the word, give it a space, and then click on the check mark, Ctrl T to activate transformation, and then reduce the size a little, and then make sure double tap into it, make sure it's centered into our canvas. Okay, make sure it's centered. Okay, perfect. Now we want to like blend this text, this coffee text, to our background for it to have that those grains on the text. So we'll go to our blend mode, click on the layer of the cafe, we'll go to blend mode, look for a blend mode that suits that makes it blends well. Okay, I think soft light is good, but now for soft light we need to reduce the opacity for us to get our actual yellow color back. Oh, it's not, we are not getting the actual color. Let's take let's change the blend mode. I think we'll go to somewhere. Let me shift this to the blend mode. Just think I think we'll just maintain. Okay, we'll take lighten, and then reduce the opacity. Okay, we'll just leave it like that. And then the next thing which we are going to do is we are going to bring in now our logo. But first, let's rearrange our coffee. Let's rearrange it. Then we bring this special text, this text down. Bring it like so. Then we take our coffee like so. Increase the size a little. Tap into it. Click this text. Bring it down a little. Okay. Now the next thing which we are going to do is we have to bring in our logo. So we just go and bring any random logo into our design. Bring in any random logo. So I'll just bring in any image to stand out as our logo if I can't find any logo now. Okay. So okay, good. We have this one here. So I'm going to drag to our canvas, bring it here, take it upwards, reduce the size of it, Ctrl T, and then we'll take it upward, or position it like so. Let's bring it slightly downwards. Okay, now we have our logo. Now the next thing which we are going to do is we need to spice up something here. So what we are going to do is we are going to bring in some leaf icons. Let's say I'll bring this one in, or let's say I'll bring this one in. I'll drag it into our canvas. Double tap into the transformation, and bring the layer of it above every other layer. for us to get a clear vision of our leaves. Now the next thing which we are going to do, actually we were supposed to use a coffee leaf, but due to time, we are running out of time, so we will use this, the one which is available for now. So I'll simply just select the one which I want, select subject, click on select subject for it to select our leaves from the background. Okay, so let's wait for some time. Sometimes this Photoshop gets to slow down our work. Okay, perfect. That selected our leaves. And then what we are going to do, remember what we did to remove the background from our coffee image. So add a layer mask to it, and boom, we have a layer mask. We convert it to a smart object. Now we will not use all these leaves. I'll simply just cut out some of the leaves we want to use, or which I'll be using. So I'll click on this tool, and then I'll take on the polygonal lasso tool, and then I'll simply click here. Make sure the layer of it is selected. Okay, the layer of the leaf is selected, and I'll click here. The reason why we are using this tool is to select out this particular leaf which we want to use. So I'll click on it, and we'll select that one. Since we have already converted to a we need to convert to a raster image, and then we right click now into our selection, and then we cut. Now we can use our move tool to bring out. As you can see, we've separated it, so I'll position it here, and then we will need to click back on the other layer of the other leaves, and then we take our polygonal lasso tool again. I will use this leaf, use this one. Okay, use this, and to select it, right click, cut. Now I'll use a move tool to position it here. Okay, then I'll click on this one, and then I'll bring all the other leaves like so. I think no, I will cut out some of the other leaves. So I'll cut out this one, sorry, undo. You click and hold on your control key, click here okay, we selected to deselect, control Z to deselect. So I will cut out this one instead, this leaf instead. Cut out this. Okay, right click into it, cut, and boom. Okay, so now I will position it here. While these other ones, these other leaves, I will delete them. So I'll click on my delete key. Okay, now for this leaf, right, I'll simply create a duplicate, Ctrl J, bring down the duplicate here like this, and then for this other leaf, I'll position it here, and then I'll overlay it. I'll bring it down below the layer of our spatial text, which is spatial, the layer of the text which is spatial. So I'll bring it down, overlay it below that layer. Okay, overlay it below that layer. That's it. And then what we are going to do now is, on each of these, we'll need to have write some effect, apply some effect on this leaf. So I'll go to make sure the layer of this leaf is selected. As you can see, it's selected. We'll go now to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then reduce the blur reduce, like so. Okay, perfect. Now let's reduce it again. So leave the blur reduce to like 2.5 or 3. Let's see. Yes, 3 is perfect. So keep it to 3. We do same for the other ones. Go to click on the leaf, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, maintain 3. do same for this other leaf. Filter, blur, version blur. Now this one we will not use 3, it will be 2.5, and then we click on OK. Then this one, this other leaf, go to filter again, blur, version blur, and then reduce the blur ratios to be like 1.3, and then we click on OK. Perfect. We have our social media flyer design for this coffee product. We have it. So before we saving our design, we need to add something to spicing up our design to actually give it a good quality when we want to for our design to have actual good quality. So click on the first layer, the layer of any object which is at the top. This is this leaf layer. Click on it, and then you go to the adjustment layer. You take on curves. Okay, so we are going to apply some curve on it. So we drag our curve like so, bring it slightly downwards, and then we send it back. So perfect. How do you see it, guys? How do you see our flyer? It's perfect. So once we are done with our design, we need to save it, right? We need to save it for advertisement, to start sharing to our friends and all that. So how do we save? You click on either you click on Control plus the S key, which is the short key, or you simply go to files and then you see save or save as, and then you can as well save. So we click on save on your computer. Click on save on your computer. Let's wait. Okay, now we'll name our flyer, which is, let's say we'll name it as coffee social media flyer. Okay, then we click on save. Okay, I'll click on OK. We need to wait for some time for it to save. Okay, our flyer has been saved. So let's go to our we'll come back after this video. I'll show you guys the actual flyer which we designed. So see you guys in our next video. Ciao.